for our sporting facilities, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture presents live coverage of the groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Grand Bahama. More importantly, welcome to the Grand Bahama Sports Complex for the groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center, and a day that we've been talking about for the last couple of months, and today it is indeed a reality. The young people of Grand Bahama are all eager to see what's going to come out of the ground, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful building. I'm Ricardo Lightbourne, and this afternoon I am joined by a young lady that is no stranger to swimming. Her name is Megan Reed. Swam in Carifta, collegiate athlete, now with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. This facility for her is something that she's smiling about because for many years she had to travel to New Providence to be in that 50-meter pool. That will not be the case for you. How do you feel today?
Oh, I am excited, and I think I speak on behalf of all of the swimmers, all of the coaches, all of the parents of all the swimmers here on Grand Bahama. We are excited for this groundbreaking opportunity. We are excited for the 50-meter pool, and we can't wait.
As a former swimmer and having to train in a 25-meter pool and then now have a 50-meter pool, tell me, for you and for the athletes that you coach now, how is this going to work?
It's just the opportunity to train in a bigger pool, a deeper pool. I know, I like I say, I speak on behalf of a lot of the coaches. One of our main things is we say, stop putting your feet down. And now when we have the opportunity several times of the week to be able to train in a 50-meter pool, you can't. And it eliminates so many of the travels that we make throughout the year. We now can focus on maybe going to international meets instead of going to Nassau meets. We could put up more long course times, and so it's just so much more opportunity for us now having this pool here.
You know what has been fun is to, over the years, cover swimming and see how the young people have been able to engage themselves in dealing with this 25-meter pool that we have here. We have three of them, but it's really not the means and ways, but now it speaks for a whole new avenue. This is going to open up a whole new set of doors.
Yes.
And how do you feel about those doors in terms of international and the national events?
I think we're really excited. I mean, we're now talking about hosting nationals here. We're talking about hosting Carifta here. We're talking about hosting now local clubs. Instead of our meets just being the other two clubs on the island, now we can open our doors to international clubs that could come over and now swim in our pool. So we're just excited for all the endless opportunities that this pool would bring. You know what's so unique is the fact that for the last couple of days we've been having this cold snap, and up in the northern regions where folks are having issues in terms of training, that now opens up another door for a lot of folks out of the United States and Canada to want to come to our shores. Yes, it does. Now they don't have to worry about, getting to the pool in all that snow and, trekking through all that snow and waking up and defrosting your car and having to try to get to the pool. Now they could come on down for summer training, and I think that's another, way we could open our doors to international athletes.
Okay. We in turn seeing the design here as to how this is going to look, which will be quite unique in more ways than one. And for me, it feels great because it means now that we will have facilities, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But on our broadcast also this afternoon is none other than Mr. Shane Stubbs. And Shane has been talking to many of the coaches and talking to those folks that are involved in swimming as to how this is going to work and having it in their backyard. Shane, how do you feel about this, and how are the athletes looking forward to being a part of this particular experience?
Yeah, Rick, you guys hit the nail on the head. For years, the athletes have been going back and forth to Nassau, having to qualify for meets at a 50-meter pool located in the nation's capital. But now, right here on home soil, they'll be able to do just that. And we are able to speak with some of the coaches who they themselves are very excited. And we got to start with Jasmine Gibson.
it's going to create a lot of opportunities for them. It's been a long time coming, I'm not going to lie. The swimmers seem very excited about having a 50-meter pool finally be established on the island of Grand Bahama. For the parents, at least, I think they're more excited because we've been traveling back and forth to Nassau for the 50-meter pool. And with this, it's going to cut down a lot of expenses that they've had over the past years.
For years, the athletes have made access to solely 25-meter pools work. And like a magnet, they attracted medal after medal after medal on the Carifta stage and elsewhere. And as Karen Pinder-Johnson, who has seen the athletes make their mark up close and personal, puts it,
you can imagine if, despite not having that, how well our kids do. If they could incorporate a 50-meter pool in their regular training, you can imagine what would then happen. I think it's deserving. The kids have worked extremely hard to this point. We have many collegiate swimmers in Division 1 and Division 2 on scholarship. We have out of Grand Bahama right now our very own Lamar Taylor, who went to the Olympics and represented the Bahamas in 2024. And so these are just small testimonies to what could happen in Grand Bahama when you have something of that magnitude at your disposal.
Now time will lapse and the center will be erected. And once that happens, both coaches say the possibilities are endless.
I'll be excited if we were able to host Carifta here on Grand Bahama, just for other countries inside the Caribbean to experience another island besides New Providence. Grand Bahama has a lot to offer as well.
We got to ensure that the specs is in accordance with World Aquatics, because World Aquatics will sanction the meet, and that only could be sanctioned through the governing body of swimming here in the Bahamas, and that's Bahamas Aquatics. And Bahamas Aquatics has done an amazing job, because when you talk about swimming throughout the world now, the Bahamas is on the map. I think the sky is the limit. I think now they'll have 2 facilities where everybody will have an opportunity. Grand Bahama will have an opportunity to put heads in bed. Our kids will have the opportunity to save $1 or $2 when not having to travel to be qualified for a national team. So I think it's a win-win situation all around.
Well, there you guys have it. Obviously, the possibilities are endless. Back to you, Rick and Megan.
Thank you very much, Shane. And for Megan, I know the day is very, very special, because having the groundbreaking ceremony, which means as soon as the soil is tilted, we'll be hearing from the Prime Minister and also the Minister of Sports, Minister for Grand Bahama, a number of dignitaries. Lynn Frino, who is also from the Bahamas Aquatics, will also have an opportunity to talk to us about what's going to go here. But not just the pool. Mm-hmm. There is a lot that's going to be here on this facility.
Yes. It is. So we have our 8-lane 50-meter pool. We also have a 25-meter warm-up cool-down pool, which is also turning to a diving pool along for. So we have diving competitions that will be taking place over here as well. We have the administrative buildings, the administrative offices. There is the drug testing rooms, and just tons of seating. So this groundbreaking experience, this facility is well equipped for everything that's going to come behind it.
You trained many years ago with the late legendary Bert Bell.
Yes.
And now you have taken over the Freeport Aquatics and making some things happen. Tell me about the coaching structure of working in that pool at Bishop Michael Eldon, and then now looking at what could possibly be for your athletes.
Well, coming from training in Bishop Michael Eldon, the 25-meter pool there, Mr. Bell, he instilled some serious core values in all of his swimmers that he brought up, and I don't think that there is one swimmer who has made it either on the big stage or close to that has not passed through what Mr. Bell had to say, or passed through that pool or any pool where he coached at. So seeing something like this, I feel like you cannot not think about Mr. Bell and all that he has done for the sport and all that he has poured into the tons of athletes that now either coach or are still swimming today. It's just amazing, and I wish he was here to see something like this, because this is just such a great milestone for the swim community, and a lot of what's happening today I don't think would have been happening without Mr. Bell.
And I tell you, I want to say to the Bell family, thank you for giving so much, for him giving so much to us. You will see here gathered, we have the Port Authority executives who many years ago, this whole facility, the property out here again, turned over to the Bahamas government for development in terms of sports. We have the track and field facility here. We have the softball field facility. Now we are having the aquatic center that's going to be constructed here. And once the soil is turned over today, then they'll begin the process. And down the road, I hope to see Little League Baseball. I hope to see tennis courts, and also state-of-the-art gym.
Yes.
On this property.
On this property.
And I think that's going to be down the road, because now what you have is the complete sports complex.
Right.
And that will make for many individuals who would want to come and bring things to the island and get the certifications necessary. This is going to be something big for us.
We're just getting started. Just getting started. And I'm excited.
She's going to be very, very excited, and I think that's going to be also an important part. Remember now that not just the pool, you will have the diving well, and I can publicly tell you that diving well is something else. Whilst I was in school in Florida, I took the chance of going up and diving off one of those platforms. That's foolishness.
It wasn't going to be me. I'm not going up there.
But it's going to be there. But diving is a part of the aquatics integral, and we do have individuals that will actually be able to excel in diving.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be very, very important. But what is also important, and as a coach, swimmers for some reason, have been able to balance the academics,
yes,
and the competition.
Yes.
Why and how?
I think it has a lot to do, and I have to commend the coaches. I have to commend the coaches because it has a lot to do with the athletes understanding that you are a student athlete, and student comes first. And we do not want to set any athlete up for failure. Those who want to go to the next step, they want to compete in the collegiate arena. And in order to go further than that, you have to be a student athlete. And if you cannot maintain your grades, if you cannot keep up in the classroom, you are not allowed to play. So in order for us to make sure that we are setting them up for the absolute best possibility, the best chances for them in the collegiate space, we want to stress that from young, that you are a student first. And so your academics come first.
I'm going to come back to you later. Let's take a quick trip over to Shane Stubbs, who's standing by with some of our guests that's here with us this afternoon for the groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center. Shane?
A lot has been being made of, the difference between a 25-meter pool and a 50-meter pool and why it's so significant for these athletes. And who better than to tell you about this than a Carifta medalist herself, Isabella Cucurulo. Izzy, tell us a little bit about the difference between training in a 25-meter pool and actually getting into a 50-meter pool and competing.
Yeah, 25-meter pool and 50-meter pool, they're very different. We do most big events, big meets in 50-meter pool. So having to train in 50-meter pool would definitely help and benefit us because it's so different. There's more walls, like a 50-meter pool. In a 25-meter pool, you have to do a turn, and in a 50-meter pool, you don't have to do a turn. So imagine training in a 50-meter pool and be able to just go all the way through and just do your finish and not having to do like a turn in a 25-meter pool. So it's very beneficial, and it will definitely benefit all of us and help us to put what we train in 50-meter pool into our actual race instead of trying to put 25-meter pool into 50-meter race.
All right, tell us a little bit about your stuff. You you started in a 25-meter pool. When you first competed in a 50-meter pool, what was that like in that very moment?
Training in 25 and going into the 50-meter pool as Like in the event? Is that what you mean? Yeah. So, you know, I try to think smart about it. I try and do like 25-meter pool. I try and think like I'm in a 50-meter pool almost, but like do that extra little lap to make it more like I'm in a 50-meter pool, so that when I actually go into the 50-meter pool and compete, I'm ready and have the right mindset to swim right in it. And yeah, it works. But a 50-meter pool would definitely be more like able to do it, and definitely make me go faster and help me to go faster because I can practice. And yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Izzy, for joining us. Always, there you have it from a medalist herself and a very, very strong swimmer. We're going to throw it back to you, Rick and Megan.
Thank you very much, Shane. And let me tell you, she said it best. The adjustment from the 25-meter pool to the 50-meter pool, you could go all out in the 50, you know exactly what you want to do in the 50 fly, 50 free, the whole 9 yards, instead of having to keep turning and to go from there. But I want to go back to your academic side of it. Mr. Bell was tough on y'all, and he wanted to make sure y'all got exactly what you deserve, right?
There were times where I would come to the pool. I attended Bishop Michael Eldon, and there were times where I would go to the pool after practice, and he would ask me, did you complete your homework? And if my homework was not complete, he would sit me down right on that pool deck and wait until I completed my homework for me to be allowed to get into that water. He was not easy on us, but I am so appreciative of all the tough love that he showed us back in the day.
And thanks to that tough love, she was able to go off to school into Western Carolina. There you can see the Prime Minister and the delegation has arrived here. The Deputy Prime Minister also with us, Minister for Grand Bahama, senators as well. Also a number of dignitaries here for this special occasion. The moderator for our program today will be Mr. Norris Bain, who's the Deputy Director of Sports. And now the Prime Minister meeting and greeting all of the individuals that are here to engage and really have a part in this area. You can see speaking there to Dr. Monique Pratt, who used to swim. Okay, and I say used to swim. She used to be an athlete a long time ago as well. I remember her as a young girl swimming. There you can see the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture also as well. And now we can go to the podium as the moderator is in place. Mr. Norris Bain will now take over the program for the official groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a grand day to be a Grand Bahamian, witnessing a grand celebration by a grand government on the nation's second city, Grand Bahama. Clap your hands. We are honored to have you here today with us as we mark a significant milestone in the advancement of sports, youth development, and community infrastructure on the island of Grand Bahama. Kindly note for me this evening that after this ceremony, there will be a groundbreaking segment which will take place immediately after we're done here today. First and foremost, we want to recognize the presence of the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Edward Davis, KC, Prime Minister of the Bahamas. The Honorable Chester Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas. The Honorable Mario K. Bolag, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, Minister for Grand Bahama. The Honorable Zane Lightburn, Minister, excuse me there. Also, we want to recognize the presence of Senator Randy Roll, Senator Kirk Russell, the Honorable Kingsley Smith, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Montez Williams, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Joel Lewis, President, Co-Chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Sarah St. George, President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Mr. Ian Roll, members of the clergy, senior government officials, Lynn Freno, Vice President of Bahamas Aquatics, other sporting organizations, a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to a grand celebration. Please stand with me as we welcome to the podium Bishop Kermit Sanders, who will take up from Kingdom Worship Center for our invocation today.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we gather here today with gratitude and hope as we break ground for this aquatic center, a place not yet built, but already rich with promise. We give thanks for the vision that brought us to this moment, for the leaders, planners, and citizens who dream of a space where our community can come together in health, joy, and fellowship. Bless the work that begins here today. As this ground is open, we ask for your protection and guidance over all who would labor on this project. Grant skill to the architects and engineers, care to the builders and workers, and wisdom to all who oversee this work. May this protection be completed safely, responsibly, and with excellence. May this center, once it's finished, be a place of life and renewal, where children learn confidence, family find connection, athletes grow in discipline, and neighbors of all ages discover wellness and belonging. Let this place be where barriers are lowered, friendships are formed, and our community is strengthened. Bless this land, O Lord, this endeavor, and all who will one day pass through these doors. May they begin here today, serve this common good for generations to come. We offer this prayer with gratitude for the past, commitment to the present, and hope for our future. We ask this in Jesus' name, and all say,
Thank you so much, Bishop Sanders. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to be rendered by Miss Anaya Sands, Rising Star, National Winner of Arts and Cultural National Arts Festival, student of the Lucayan International School. Come on, give her another round of applause, one of our rising stars. At this time, you may kindly be seated. To officially welcome you this afternoon, I invite to the podium Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mr. Montez Williams. Please give him a hand.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my high honor and great privilege to serve as the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. In that capacity, I rise to officially welcome one and all to this most meaningful event of digging in the dirt, of turning the soil, of passing the pile, of breaking the fallow ground. You may say these phrases are often associated with agriculture, the ministry that I just came from. Proud to have been there, and you would be quite correct. Farmers well know the importance of seed time and harvest. And we in the business of national development also know about identifying raw talent, youth, sports, and cultural talent, and pouring, and nurturing, and pruning, and plucking to yield the greatest possible harvest. That is why we are here, to stand on shoulders, to acknowledge the blood, sweat, and tears of all those visionaries, commentators, complainers, activists, national developers, administrators, parents, well-wishers, but most importantly, our youth, athletes, divers, swimmers, dreamers. May our well-intentioned, positive actions today yield many, many, many bountiful blessings for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Acting P.S. Williams, for those remarks. It's good to have with us also this evening Spilcher Grant from Carnival, who's just swooping up the lifeguard that are being trained by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. But that's a good thing. We're putting young people to work, and we certainly do appreciate that. At this time, we invite remarks from Ms. Lynn Freno, First Vice President of Bahamas Aquatics. Ms. Freno.
Prime Minister Davis, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister Bolag, Minister Moxie, other cabinet ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As First Vice President of Bahamas Aquatics and as a proud Grand Bahamian, it is with immense pride and joy that I take part in this groundbreaking ceremony for a brand new swimming pool right here on our island. Today is more than the start of a construction project. Today is the beginning of a new chapter for Grand Bahama, because this is not just a pool. This pool is a promise to our children, a promise to our athletes, and a promise to the future of Grand Bahama. I want to speak on the theme of hometown heroes. Grand Bahama has produced some of the most remarkable swimmers this nation has ever seen. When I think of what swimming has done for our island, I think of Olympians from Grand Bahama, including Alan Murray, Varence Burroughs, Dustin Tynes, Lamar Taylor, and of course, Joanna Evans, whose name will forever be tied to Bahamian excellence on the world stage. And what makes me even prouder is that this legacy is still continuing. And I'd like to share a personal story. Some of you know that my daughter Caitlin has also been shaped by this sport. Through swimming, she had the honor of representing the Bahamas at the Pan American Games and the Commonwealth Games. But what I want to emphasize today is that swimming did not only open doors for her in competition, swimming opened doors for her in life. Caitlin's journey took her to the University of Florida, and swimming connected her to mentors and opportunities she could have never planned, including the chance to shadow Tariq Kelly, a former Bahamian swimmer from Nassau, who now works at an elite level of sport alongside world-class athletes. Swimming also led her to the opportunity to work in a major research lab at the university, an opportunity that many students try very hard to obtain. And now, one opportunity has led to another, with doors opening toward doctoral research in neuroscience and rehabilitation that can one day benefit athletes right here at home. And I can honestly say there are many more stories I can tell. Stories of how swimming has connected young Bahamians to people, opportunities, and experiences they never could have imagined. But what makes me proudest is that this journey is not just about Caitlin. It is about what swimming does for all of our young people. Because time and time again, we see Bahamian swimmers go out into the world, earning degrees, building careers, gaining international experience, and then returning to give back to the sport that shaped them, often coming back as coaches, mentors, and leaders. And I tell these stories to show that swimming is the thread connecting it all. This is what swimming can do. It connects Bahamian talent to global opportunity. It surrounds our children with mentorship, and it shows them that their dreams are valid because someone from the Bahamas has already done it. And this is what I want every young person in Grand Bahama to understand. Swimming is not only about medals. It's not only about records. It's not only about the Olympics. Swimming opens doors. It builds discipline, confidence, and lifelong opportunity. Swimming builds people, and it builds futures. To our competitive swimmers, I hope this aquatic facility stands as a reminder that your country believes in you. I also bring greetings on behalf of our president, Algernon Cargill, who is unable to travel to Grand Bahama today due to a work assignment in Nassau. He has reviewed the plans for this facility, met with the design team, and is truly excited about what is being built here. And with Grand Bahama representing nearly 30% of our Carifta Aquatics team each year, he believes this pool will only strengthen that legacy. But today, as we break ground, let's also make a commitment beyond competitive swimming. Let's use this pool not only to train champions, but to build a stronger, safer, healthier Grand Bahama. Living in the Bahamas means living with water, and with that comes responsibility. This pool gives us the opportunity to strengthen water confidence and safety, so every Grand Bahamian child grows up, not just enjoying the water, but knowing how to survive in it. So let's use it to expand Learn to Swim programs for children and for adults. Let's use it to teach water survival skills so our people are better prepared during emergencies and storm surges. And let's use it to train lifeguards to meet the growing demand across our tourism sector, from Celebration Key to private cruise destinations throughout our beautiful chain of islands. Because a pool like this belongs to all of us. In closing, I want to sincerely thank our Prime Minister and our Minister of Sports for their commitment to sports development and for keeping their promise to Grand Bahama. Our Prime Minister understands swimming. A swim dad, a swim granddad. He speaks our language, from flip turns to personal bests. And his support, along with the support of Minister Bolag, is felt deeply whenever our swimmers compete. Whether it is Team Bahamas' recent 7th consecutive Carifta Swimming Championship title, or each year at the Bahamas National Swimming Championships, their presence, encouragement, and belief in our athletes truly matter. And I also want to sincerely thank Minister Moxie for consistently advocating for Grand Bahama and ensuring that our swimmers feel included, supported, and given the same opportunity as athletes throughout the Bahamas. This pool represents hope, it represents progress, and it represents the next generation of heroes. So here's to the champions who will train here, here's to the lives that will be changed here, and here's to Grand Bahama rising, stronger, safer, and faster than ever before. On behalf of Bahama Aquatics, I congratulate the government of the Bahamas for this important investment in Grand Bahama. Thank you.
Come on, give Ms. Frino another rousing round of applause. She told you about the progress. 2023, the Prime Minister stood boldly and promised it. And it's a big deal, Paco. Everybody's here. I even see Jamal Strawn from Nassau Village. You know, and it's good to have all of you here today because this is indeed a big, big deal. Minister, you're smiling. She's all excited about this. Okay. Well, it is an honor to have the Grand Bahama Port Authority here with us. And so right now, I'm going to invite to the podium the co-chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Mr. Sarah St. George, to bring remarks.
You may see the program mentioned the name of the GBPA president, Ian Roll, so we weren't quite sure who was going to give remarks on behalf of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, but he used the phrase, age before beauty. I don't know if I should be complimented by that. I adopt the existing protocol, but of course I must acknowledge the Honourable Brave Davis, our Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Leicester Cooper, our Honourable Minister of Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, and of course Minister Boleg, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends and athletes. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, I'm truly delighted to be here today for this new Aquatic Centre groundbreaking ceremony. And we at the Port Authority champion youth and sports wholeheartedly, especially our Carifta athletes. Each year, we assist families with travel and accommodations, and we've watched our young Bahamians grow into disciplined, confident, and highly accomplished athletes. And time again, they make us proud. Our swimmers, as Lynn said, continue to prove that Grand Bahama truly belongs on the world stage. Gold medalists like Sienna Campbell, Isabella Cucurullo, Dexter Russell, Kimaya Saunders, Tristan Hepburn, and all the other silver and bronze medalists. And whether they go on to become Olympians or scholarship athletes or leaders in their communities, one thing is always true. It starts with access, encouragement, and opportunity. And that's why today is so meaningful. Our moderator, Deputy Director of Sports, Norris Bain, told me how he took my father, Edward St. George, to 8 Mile Rock High. And they had a long conversation, and the outcome was a new GBPA-built gymnasium, as well as 2 gyms at Haywood High and St. George's, and then here, right here, the Grand Bahama Sports Complex and the $2.6 million running track. And last year, we officially conveyed the 80 acres of land to the government, valued at $75,000 an acre, for a total land contribution in excess of $6 million. So this swimming pool and centre is not just a facility, as Lynn said. It's an investment in our youth, in good health, and in the future of Grand Bahama. Philosopher and social reformer Tagore, known as the Sun Lion, said, "You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water." And we're taking the plunge. It'll be a place where athletes train, children learn life-saving skills, and families come together. And as we know, parents are a huge part of this. And let's not forget our torchbearers, like the YMCA in Karen, Sunland Baptist, and Bishop Michael Eldon, who've nurtured Grand Bahama's swimming champions in non-competition sized smaller pools to reach this moment. And I'll also say, personally, there's nothing I love more than being in the water. I swim in the ocean every day, even in this cold weather. And I know firsthand the peace, strength, and joy that swimming brings. I am so excited that more Grand Bahamians will now have access to this same experience. And once built, Prime Minister, I'm thinking I might challenge you to a swim race. After all, water reduces friction. We might never have a difference of opinion again. So I and my colleagues deeply congratulate the government of the Bahamas on this important milestone. And we look forward to seeing this Olympic pool produce many more champions, both in sport and in life. Congratulations and thank you.
I got it. Thank you so much, Mr. St. George, for that presentation this afternoon. We'll now be entertained by a couple of students, several students from the dance theater, the Bahamas Dance Theater. Please give them a hand as they would come, please.
How's everybody feeling? Y'all good? All right. Now this is a song everybody knows. So let me see y'all shaking and moving in these seats. Listen, everybody, let me tell you something. It's time to change the way you move. You don't have to worry or even say you're sorry when you hear the junkanoo. If you feel the rhythm or a new sensation makes you wanna get up and dance, shake your body like you're crazy, jump around and curl like you're mad. Dance, shake to the junkanoo, jump to the junkanoo, whine, move, groove, twist, right on time. Dance, shake, jump, and whine. Everybody, join the party. This what junkanoo's about. Come on, dance, shake, jump. You got it. Whine, move, groove, twist. All right, let's do that one more time. If you see your neighbor or your pastor's daughter dancing like they out of control. Even if your auntie looking very happy, don't look shake, we know how to tango. The rhythm of Junkanoo, it's supposed to make you move. Don't be shy, come on, get up and whine. Shake your body like you're crazy. Jump around and carol like you're mad. Dance, shake, jump, and whine. Move, groove, twist, right on time. Dance, shake, jump, and whine. Everybody, join the party. This what Junkanoo's about. Dance, shake, jump, whine, move, groove, twist. Okay, one more time. All right, now, let's go. Dance, shake, jump, whine, move, groove, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up. Dance, shake to the Junkanoo, jump and whine, yeah, move, groove, twist, right on time. Dance, shake, jump, and whine. Everybody, join the party. This what Junkanoo's about. Everybody, join the party. This what Junkanoo's about. Everybody, join the party. This what Junkanoo's about. Thank you.
Come on, you can do better than that. They are our most precious resource, young people. Young people are very important, so let's give them a rousing round of applause again. Come on. Come on. This is how you know you're on the right team. A year and a half after, just under a year and a half after becoming the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, right before a budget, in the midst of a budget debate, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas promised the people of Grand Bahama that he would deliver a pool to the people of Grand Bahama. And I always tell people when we talk about it, not a pool, an aquatic center. And that's a big, big difference. So he's given us more than a pool. He promised a pool, and he's given us more. Progress. And so we are getting an aquatic center here in Grand Bahama. I've seen the one in Trinidad firsthand. And what he's given us is far, far better. We're going to continue to be the envy of the Caribbean because we have a Prime Minister who believes in the island of Grand Bahama. And so today, I want you to hear what the young people say. So just taking this short video presentation. And boy, he put the right man to do this. A man that we followed in the Bahamas Basketball Federation for several years. Took basketball to where it is today, contrary to popular opinion. Had it not been for Mario Bolag, the Honorable Mario Bolag, we'd still be struggling in basketball. And so we're happy to have the right Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture in place. Let's give our Honorable Minister a round of applause as well. Enjoy the brief video presentation.
You are watching the groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center here at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex, and a very special time for all of us. I'm Ricardo Lightborn, and also joined right now by Miss Reed, Megan Reed, who has been a figure in terms of swimming. And you would have heard what Lynn Freno said about swimming and how it has indeed been a area of getting return for the investment. And I thought she was talking about you going away competing at the Carifta level, going off to college, getting a degree, coming back home, and now putting what you have acquired abroad into the pool, and now coaching FAC. You should feel good about that.
Yeah, it's a full circle. It's a full circle moment. I'm now back coaching at the very pool that I learned how to swim at. And if it wasn't for swimming, I wouldn't have been granted all of the opportunities that, I was granted in college, made all of the connections that I made, and been, awarded all the things that I have. And I owe that all to swimming.
That's why I asked you the question earlier. What is it with swimming and academics? Swimming has a record that their athletes go off, all graduate, and all have become professionals in more ways than one.
What can I say? That's a swimmer thing. It's like what they say, if you know, you know. But it's a swimmer thing, and like I said, I think it all boils down to the support system that you have. And a lot of us are fortunate enough to have the proper support system that instilled the right things and make sure we're on the right path. And like you said, it's not a number of swimmers that I know that kind of stray off of that path.
They stay the course.
Stay the course.
And go from there. One thing Lynn also mentioned, the fact that learn to swim, which we spoke about earlier before going on air, which is very, very essential. And we also spoke about especially primary school children getting an opportunity to feel comfortable in the water. This facility will afford them that. I know the YMCA does at this point, where they have the schools that go there. We have the Sunland and also Bishop Michael Eldon pools, which are accessible, and also condominiums and hotel pools are all being used in that regards. But this is the government's pool and the government's aquatic center. So there's much that can be done here. And I think that's something you've been thinking about.
It has been. I mean, straight from children's learn to swim all the way up to the adult learn to swim. I think this aquatic center would grant the opportunity for so many people to be able to learn how to swim and get that fear of the water out of the way. And I know she also touched on lifeguarding. Now, this is a pool that we could train more lifeguards. The opportunities are endless as it pertains to this pool and what we can do in the water.
And also we heard the fact that Sarah St. George likes to swim.
Yes.
And so she's
I'm looking forward to that race.
So she's encouraging many of you out there to engage and be involved. Once this is completed, it'll be here for the people of Grand Bahama and that of the Northern Bahamas.
Yes.
So it's not just for a select few. It's for everybody. And I think that's very, very important that everybody can take full advantage of it. There is Joanna Evans, who one of our Olympians, and for me, it's amazing. And the reason why I say it is because having to watch you guys grow and watch you develop into professionals now that have taken your rightful places in our community means a lot. And I think for those of us who are in the sports business and the development side of things are very proud. And that's why I said, for some reason, swimming getting it right. Some way, swimming getting it right. Track and field, y'all better get y'all act together. Okay?
I don't know what's about the swimmers, but it's always, I think it has a lot to do with the gratitude and all of the support that we received growing up and in the sport, that it's just within us to come back.
All righty, let's go now to the podium. The Honorable Ginger Moxie, the Minister of Grand Bahama, will now address us and give her take on this new facility to be constructed here at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex.
Protocol has already been established, but of course I recognize the presence of our Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Edward Brave Davis, Casey, our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, Minister of the Environment, Zane Lightbourne, Parliamentary Secretary, Jamal Strawn and Kingsley Smith, as well as Senators Kirkland Russell and Randy Rowe. Also, MP for Central Grand Bahama, Aaron Lewis. Today is a celebration of the fulfillment of a promise made to the young championship winning swimmers on Grand Bahama by our Prime Minister. It is because of their athleticism, relentless perseverance, and indisputable work ethic that the Bahamas has become a dominant force in Caribbean aquatics. I am proud of the contributions our young swimmers have made to Bahamas aquatics. They have been instrumental in the Bahamas swim team winning 7 consecutive Carifta swimming championships. But most importantly, I'm proud of their individual achievements. Our swimmers have endured many obstacles in the past. The road has not been easy for them, but they have triumphed, and they are all winners. To our Prime Minister, and most importantly, our Minister of Finance, thank you for keeping your promise to provide a world-class training site for our swimmers. To our Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, thank you for your unwavering commitment to providing young people with opportunities in athletics. The centerpiece of this facility will be a 50-meter Olympic standard pool supported by a 25-meter warm-down pool. These are the tools of champions. This center will be the stage for local meets, national championships, and the thunderous energy of the Carifta Games. We are building a home for excellence where athletes no longer have to travel abroad to find the facilities they deserve. We are bringing the finish line home to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama has always been and continues to be the home of events and entertainment. This aquatic center will add a massive new pillar to our sports tourism offerings. When this facility is completed, we will attract swim clubs and elite colleges from across the United States, Canada, and the global stage. These teams are looking for more than just a place to practice. They are looking for a world-class destination to train, to compete, and to experience the best of the Caribbean. They will find it here. So today is another grand day for Grand Bahama Island. Let us continue to dig deep and build high, and let us prepare to welcome the world to the new home of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Ginger Moxie. Okay, don't need no paper to introduce this man. He's the hardest working man in sports business. The Honorable Mario K. Bolag. No, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to him being returned as the Member of Parliament for Garden Hills in the next general election. He's not a talker, he's a worker. You know, and I've witnessed it firsthand. I've traveled the globe with him. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to be serving on the side of a man who's a doer. Prime Minister, you made no mistake when you appointed Mario Bolag, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. And I look forward to you returning as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, all right? Come on, Mario, let's go.
Yeah. Good morning, Grand Bahama. Good afternoon, actually. Yeah, Norris caused that. Prime Minister, permit me to stand on the established protocol, please. Grand Bahama, putting shovels in the ground today is for you. It is for every young swimmer who has trained before sunrise. It is for every parent who has sacrificed to keep a dream alive. It is for every coach who refused to let limited facilities limit potential. And most importantly, it is for the next generation. Grand Bahama,
as you already given this country champions from Freeport, came Alan Murray, who carried our flag at the Olympic Games, Joanna Evans, who rose to compete at the highest international level, Lamar Taylor, continuing to make his mark regionally and beyond. Verence Burrows, who also proudly represented this island and nation with strength and discipline. They prove that world-class talent lives right here in Grand Bahama. And now we see the next wave rising. Young athletes like Marvin Johnson, Harold Simmons, Nyla Beneby, and Carifta standouts from Freeport who continue to represent the Bahamas with pride and determination. To those young swimmers and to those who will follow behind you, hear me clearly. This facility is being built for you. Every block laid, every load of cement poured, every beam raised into place is a commitment to this administration in making this for you. A commitment that your dreams matter, a commitment that you should not have to leave home to prepare for international standard. A commitment that the government of the Bahamas sees you, value you, and is willing to invest in your future. For years, the 25-meter pool helped build discipline and resilience. It shaped character, but elite competition is raced in the over 50-meter. That is the Olympic distance. That is the global standard. The Grand Bahama Aquatic Center will feature a 50-meter competition pool built to world aquatic standards, ensuring that preparation at home matches competition aboard. With movable starting blocks, the pool can convert into a 25-meter pool, maximizing training, flexibility, and year-round access. There will also be a separate warm-up pool that can convert into a springboard diving pool for official competition, expanding opportunities across aquatics, disciplines, and positioning Grand Bahama to host full-scale meets. This infrastructure designed to furnish dreams. Athletes will benefit from proper changing facilities, a dedicated cafeteria and lounge, and a fully equipped gym to prepare swimmers selected to represent the Bahamas internationally. The complex will also include properly designed marshalling areas to ensure professionalism, organization during competitions, along with adequate storage and operational support to maintain the facility at the world-class standard. For spectators and families, the experience will be equally thoughtful and accommodating. The Aquatic Center will feature shaded grandstands with seating for nearly 3,000 spectators across both pools, six food vendor areas within grandstands, and adequate public restroom facilities, accessible seating for handicapped and spectators, and ample parking incorporated into the overall design. At the top of the bleachers, there will be designed spaces for Junkanoo bands, because when Bahamians compete, we bring the rhythm of culture and energy to the area. These sections can also accommodate mobile vendors, creating atmosphere worthy of regional and international competition. The facility will include an infirmary, a drug testing area, meeting international standards, and reinforcing our commitment to athlete safety, fairness, and integrity. But let us be clear, this is bigger than swimming. This is about showing our young people that they are important. It is about building an environment where talent does not have to migrate to be realized. It is about making it possible for dreams to become a reality right here at home. And it is also smart economics. With a facility built to international standard, Grand Bahama will be positioned to host regional competitions, invitational meets, and international training camps. That means hotel occupancy, restaurants, revenue, transportation service, vendors opportunities, and job creation. Sports tourism is a competitive, and with this aquatic center, Grand Bahama steps confidently into the race. Across the Caribbean, only a handful of nations operate multiple 50-meter competition standard pools. When this center is completed, the Bahamas will stand among the very few countries in the region where more than 150-meter facilities, strengthening our ability to host major events and deepening our national talent pipeline. But at the heart of this project is about people. Recently, young Bahamians successfully completed lifeguard certification programs, gaining life-saving skills and employable credentials. As this center becomes operational, opportunities will expand to aquatics, coaching, officiating, sports management, and water safety. We are building opportunities. We are building confidence. We are building pathways. To every young swimmer watching today, your lane is being prepared. To every parent, your sacrifice are recognized. To every coach, your dedication is being reinforced. And Grand Bahama, your government believes in you. If this island has already produced Olympians, national champions, and Carifta medalists without world-class aquatic center, imagine what will happen when preparation meets opportunity at home. May this aquatic center become a place where records are broken, character is strengthened, and Bahamian excellence continue to rise right here in Grand Bahama. This is not just a pool, but a state-of-the-art facility that will attract professionals and amateurs alike from around the world. They will utilize the many amenities for competition and off-season training. It will serve to promote our Sports and Paradise brand that will attract tourists from all over the world. If we build it, they will come. May God bless this project. May God bless the people of Grand Bahama, and may God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to please rise to your feet as I invite to the podium the 5th Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Mr. Philip Edward Brave Davis.
Good afternoon, please be seated. I note that the moderator is starting to appoint my cabinet ministers. Sarah, I do swim too. I'm not going to swim in the winter. And I do accept that water eases tensions, but it also puts out fires. Standing on the protocol, I'll just say good afternoon to you, all my friends. When I think about Grand Bahama swimming, and Lynn would have exposed some of my connection to involvement with swimming, and I had a deep involvement in the Grand Bahama swimming because I hosted most of the swimmers at my house when they came down for swimming back in the 70s and 80s. And I remember the names like the Malcolms, the Bradleys, the Murrays, the Rutherfords, Esquino, and of course, who would be smiling down from heaven today, Coach Bell. And so, when I was a young man helping to run a small swim club and run swim clubs in Nassau, I spent many evenings timing races with a stopwatch in my hand and a clipboard under my arm. I remember parents huddled under umbrellas, children shivering on the starting blocks, coaches dreaming out aloud about what our swimmers could achieve if they ever had the right facilities. Back then, an Olympic-sized pool in Grand Bahama felt like a distant hope. Today, we turned that hope into concrete steel. And in fact, back then, we didn't even have a 50-meter pool in Nassau when I started out. Swimming has been a big part of my life. I served as vice president of our National Swim Federation. Now they changed the name to Bahama Aquatics. I held the same post that Lynn did, and this now holds. I have shouted myself hoarse on pool decks across this country. Now these days I cheer from the stands as a swim granddad, watching my grandchildren learn the same discipline, learn the same courage, obtain the same confidence that swimming gave to me and my other children. So when our Grand Bahama swimmers brought home victory after victory at Carifta, when they stood on those podiums and carried the Bahamian flag high, I made a promise. I told them, your effort, your early mornings, your sacrifices deserve a home that matches your ambition. That promise brings us here this afternoon. We gather at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex to break ground for a new aquatic center anchored by a 50-meter Olympic-sized pool. This facility will match international standards. It will be capable of hosting major regional and international meets. It will give Bahamian swimmers the chance to race at home in a pool that prepares them for the fastest lanes in the world. I know this day has taken time, and I want to thank you for your patience. There were surveys and soil tests. There were discussions with planning departments, with engineers and architects. We had to secure the land, design the facility, and make sure that what we build here will stand strong, serve long, and meet the expectations of both athletes and the wider community. During that time, some people wondered if this project would really happen. To those swimmers, coaches, parents, and community advocates who kept asking, who kept pressing, who kept reminding us of our word, I want to say thank you. You helped keep this project on the national agenda. You kept the flame burning until the match reached the fuel. This aquatic center will represent more than a pool in the middle of a field. It will include a 50-meter competition pool for elite training and major meets. It will be designed to accommodate warm-up and warm-down, proper timing systems, and the space needed for officials, volunteers, and media. There will be seating for supporters, space for officials and coaches, and room for growth as Grand Bahama swimming community expands. This is not a project for a small circle of competitive swimmers alone. This is for the children who will learn to swim here, for the grandparents who will use the water for therapy, for the teachers and instructors who will run learn to swim programs, for lifeguards who will be trained to keep our beaches and hotel pools safe. We live in an ocean state. Our islands are surrounded by some of the most beautiful waters on earth. Yet, too many of our people do not swim. That has to change. I recall that I'm trying to remember his name, James Bond, Sean Connery. The Sean Connery Foundation, Sean on his passing, created a foundation, and the proceeds of it were to provide scholarships for Bahamian students who are studying any of the marine disciplines. full university scholarships. That fund is directed for Bahamians and Scottish students. I was advised by Sean's son about a year and a half ago that he took 30 students from the University of Bahamas to Scotland, to the University of Edinburgh for a semester for marine scientists. And to his chagrin, none of the 30 Bahamians that went could have swum. Couldn't swim. And that inspired him to start what we call, we have a Learn to Swim program, but he's now throwing the full support of the foundation behind our Learn to Swim program. And as an adjunct to that program, we now have a program called Schools and Pools, which we'll be putting Learn to Swim pools in some of the public schools in New Providence as we speak. And there's no reason why we can't start it here in Grand Bahama. Minister Boleg? So, as I indicated, we live in an ocean state. Our islands are surrounded by some of the most beautiful waters on earth. And as I indicated, we just don't know how to swim. That has to change. A country built on the sea should never be a country where fear of the water holds anyone back. This center will help change that story. Here in Grand Bahama, young people will gain a skill that can save their lives, open doors to scholarships, as you would have heard, and lead them to represent the Bahamas on the regional and global stage. Here, parents will watch their children discover discipline, teamwork, and self-belief. Here, coaches will finally have the facility they need to prepare athletes to race and win against the best. I want to say a word directly to the young swimmers of Grand Bahama. Some of you may be here in your team shirts with goggles hanging around your necks. Maybe you train in small pools, in crowded lanes, in conditions that are far from ideal. You wake up in the dark before school. You go back to the pool after homework. You do it day after day, even when you are tired, even when you wonder if anyone is really paying attention. We see you. And this ground is for you. One day you will walk into this aquatic center for an early morning practice. The sun will just be rising. The water will be still and waiting. You will know that your country believed in you enough to build this place. When you travel to race abroad, you will come from a facility that matches the pools you find overseas. And when you come home with medals, with records, with personal bests, you will know that your success grew from the work you've done here. I also want to speak to the parents and guardians who drive the car, wash the towels, pay the fees, and sit through long meets. Your quiet work is the foundation of every victory. This facility honors your sacrifice as much as it honors the swimmer's talent. Today is also a day to recognize partnership. And so, to the Grand Bahama Port Authority and all other agencies that played a role in land transfers, approvals, and infrastructure, we appreciate your cooperation. And we say thank you. To the Bahamas Aquatics Federation, the coaches, officials, and volunteers who keep swimming alive across our islands, this is your day too. Grand Bahama has known hard seasons, hurricanes, economic shocks, and structural change have tested this island again and again. Yet every time I come here, I meet people who refuse to give up, who keep rebuilding, who keep believing that better days are possible. This aquatic center is one more sign that those better days are arriving. It is one chapter in a larger story of renewal for Grand Bahama. New investments, new jobs, new infrastructure, and new opportunities are beginning to take shape across the island. We are here to make sure that young people in Grand Bahama grow up in a community where they can dream big, train hard, find work, build families, and stay rooted in the place they love. My friends, I started by recalling evenings on old pool decks with clipboards and stopwatches. We've come a long way from those days. We now have Olympic finalists and world-class swimmers, and we are raising a new generation who can go even further. The story of Bahamian swimming is still being written. Today, with this groundbreaking, we turn a new page. Thank you, and let us break this ground together.
Thank you, Prime Minister. You all may be seated now. We are almost done. Just permit me to say thank you to all of the persons that participated in the ceremony this afternoon, and do ask that you be seated as we break ground, as we invite persons to the groundbreaking. Do want to say thank you to our Prime Minister for continuing to help us in Grand Bahama to make the necessary progress that we need to continue to see happen here on this island. And then also to the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario K. Boleg, who loves young people, who holds a very important position here in the country. I want to thank him for always being available to the young people of our nation in the area of youth sports and, of course, culture, and his fight for this particular project here. He wanted to make sure it was done right, and so happy for that. And then, Minister Moxie, thank you. Thank you for always being just a phone call away to assist us at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and insisting that things be done right, even though sometimes you walk a little hard, but that's okay. You just want what is best for the people of Grand Bahama, and we certainly do appreciate all that you do here on the island of Grand Bahama. Then to the Bahamas Dance Theater, thank you. Sarah, Ian, thank you for always being there, only a phone call away. Thank you even for yesterday, making it possible, doing what you had to do to make sure that this day happened. Really appreciate that. May God continue to bless you. And then we also want to say a special thank you to Lynn for those passionate words about swimming. You could feel it as she was speaking. Really good presentation. I really appreciated that. And to our PS who had to run off, he's a very busy man. He's gone off back to Nassau. Thank him for his kind words. Little Miss Sands from LIS, thank you so much for the rendition of the national anthem. Bishop Kermit Sanders was always willing to take us before the throne of God. We appreciate all that. And to the swimmers that I dragged out last week on Saturday at such short notice, and you all were so willing to come, thank you. Thank you for coming and being there with your parents and being willing to be a part of the video presentation, because you realize how important it is that this would be here today. And so hopefully this will help to continue your dominance of the Caribbean, the Caribbean Championships in particular. So thank you all for being here. I do ask that you remain seated as we invite the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis, along with our Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, Ms. Ginger Moxie, to come. Sarah St. George, we'd like for you to come as well. Lynn Freno from Bahamas Aquatics, please come along as well. Our PS, who's here, PAL Secretary in the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Grand Bahama, Joel Lewis, please come and join us. Mr. Roll, would you join us as well, please? Reverend Preacher, we can't do the groundbreaking without you, so we certainly need you to be there, Reverend Kenneth Lewis, along with Bishop Kermit Sanders. We need you there as well as we do the groundbreaking.
And there you have the contingent that's going now to break the ground here and turn the soil for the construction of the new Grand Bahama Aquatic Center, something that the Prime Minister stated is on the way and is going to be constructed here as they begin to turn over the soil. And for all of us who have been hearing and waiting for this to happen, Megan, today for me, and I would imagine for you and all the younger swimmers, is a very special one, because it means now that you're moving swimming in the right direction.
Yes, we are. And I know all of the swimmers here, coaches, parents, I know that we are just so excited to see this happening. Swimming is definitely going in the right direction, and I'm just so excited, seeming as though what the Grand Bahamian swimmers have been able to produce without the 50-meter pool. The world is not prepared for what we're going to be able to do now that we have this 50-meter pool here on the island.
I tell you, and having dominated Carifta for so many years, and now having this other facility here, having two 50-meter pools in the country, opens the door big time to what could be the springboard to some positive things here as far as Grand Bahama and also the Bahamas, as we invite the Caribbean to come to us.
Absolutely. And not only just for swimming, with this addition of the 50-meter pool, we're opening the opportunity for some new Grand Bahamian sports. As water polo is now available now that we have this 50-meter pool here. Diving. So I'm excited. I'm excited for our Bahamian athletes. I'm excited for the coaches, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for us in the next steps.
Some things are going to happen, and as you can see, Lynn on the end, and having Ian and Sarah, and also the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Sports, all in place to turn the soil here. What will also be important for you those that are viewing and listening to understand is that there will also be added amenities here to this particular facility, office spaces, again, the additional warm down pools and the diving well and everything else, which will then also springboard much that will happen here with the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Having the track, which is right next door, will in turn help, as the weight room will be a part of what happens here as well. And as you can see, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, that is the Reverend Kenneth Lewis, who is doing the blessing of the ground here, which is very, very important to ensure that this becomes what we ask it to become, and that is the next phase for our young Bahamian athletes. I like this because it better be heated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yes.
I had my problems 2 weeks ago with all this cold weather.
This cold,
and so you could imagine what it's like to get the kids up in the morning to get the heated pools, and also to swim and to be able to train and to do the things necessary. And what is also important is that this is the opportunity. We talked about the children and how they can use it. Teachers, instructors, schools making this an important part of their curricula. You heard that the Ministry of Education in New Providence is putting pools in schools.
Yes.
And that may be something to be looked at here for Grand Bahama. But this will also be able to allow schools to come and to be a part of their training in their physical education program, which I think will be great, because what you have is kids who can now come and become comfortable, I believe, in the water and comfortable around the pool. That says much as far as how we'd like to see swimmers progress. I saw the same thing in Abaco, where the young people over there were introduced to swimming and made some things happen. That has to happen here as well, to take full advantage of it, and things will happen. You in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, you see the groundbreaking. You're going to be busy.
Very busy, but I'm excited. Busy with good cause.
Busy with good cause?
Good cause.
I just love it. I just love it. And there you can see the Prime Minister having conversations again. And what is also good is to see Zane, who is also here. He now transferred to New Providence, but in the House of Assembly, and was a part of the education process to get pools in schools. And so getting him now to be involved with the environment, that too will make some things happen. Don't forget also that we do have Shane Stubbs that's also with us here, but you can see the acreage here that the Grand Bahama Port Authority has been given the government to make this happen. Again, the cost some $6 million in land for this facility. And so that in itself, and that means from where we are here all the way to the Grand Bahama Highway, is the property that has now been given to the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture, the Bahamas government, for development of sports.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be another part of it. I am ready for you guys to also put the gym on the other side. Okay, that's the north side. Put the gym on the north side of this facility, and then we don't have to have this headache about the use of the school gyms. They can do what they need to do. And so this will be the sports complex and a full avenue for sports development here in Grand Bahama. This is fantastic. And I like the fact that the Prime Minister mentioned your coach, your mentor, Bert Bell, and he spoke about the swimmers going to Nassau and competing. And I was a part of that many years ago with the late Will Rutherford and his son Keno, and going down there and also spending time with the Prime Minister at his home, and as he was involved in swimming with his children back in the day. But it brings back good memory, but a promise made and a promise fulfilled.
Fulfilled, yes.
And I think that's something that we're talking about here today, which is very, very important. And for Grand Bahama, the children of Grand Bahama, today starts the beginning of a new era for swimming here on this island. Lynn Freno said it best, that some 30% of the island itself and the swimmers for our national teams come from here. That's going to increase to like almost 40-50%.
I think so. I think
we
so.
will see a 50-50
We're doing it without
split.
the pool. Now we have the pool here. I see the jump.
And I want to say to all of the clubs in New Providence, you want to get out of that busy place and come down here to have your camps and train, this is the place to do it. Come here and train and make that happen, and things are going to go in the right way and going from there. So that's where we are at this point. I'm also now being joined by the Minister of Youth, Sports, and Culture, Honorable Mario Boleg, who has now made some things happen. You got chess today, man.
Well, you know, I always said, you know, Ricardo, thanks for having me here. And it's a great day in Grand Bahama. I know we were being bombarded, I would say, by individuals on the promise that was made about 2.5 years ago. And I always said, if we can do it, we can do it right. And every time I come in Grand Bahama and I meet with the media, I always say to them, there's some things that must be done before we break ground, because I don't believe in breaking ground ceremonially. And you will see tomorrow they will start spraying out the foundation of the building aspect of it, so they can get things. We just got the permit finally approved yesterday from the port, you know, because they have to make sure all is in order. And now that we got the permit, we will begin to spray, line out the property. But we want Grand Dames to know, Rome wasn't built in a day, nor will this pool be. You know, this is but an 18-month to 24-month project.
When you look at this particular facility, you're putting everything in place. You don't have to come back and redo this and redo that.
Exactly.
It's going to make sure that everything is done correctly. And I believe with the Port Authority clearing the way with all the technical aspect of it, it's going to be a durable entity and something that's going to be lasting here for Grand Bahama.
Most definitely. We had to do an environmental study. We had to do a partnership with Ministry of Works and, with the port, ensure that all aspects and all the logistics that takes to make sure that when we build this just don't be something that will be built overnight and then you had hurricane come. What will happen when hurricane come? This is also going to be built strong enough to maintain hurricanes. We'll be able to ensure that when water comes over the pool, you can protect the pool. And so all of those things, the geotechnical study and all those things have to be put in place. This is not a backyard pool where you and I can just take a backhoe and dig a 6 feet or hole and then say, by 20 feet wide. So that's our pool. And so, again, I always do believe that Grand Bahama is a place that has great potential. And if we build it, I think that they will come, and I believe that this can be the leading island in the Bahamas when it comes to sports tourism. You just need the facilities.
You've taken a very bold initiative to take away the Nassau-centric mentality and all the situations that we're having to deal with. I see what you're doing with track and field. I see what you're doing with the other sports. And now you're doing it here with swimming and putting this facility here and allowing, especially those young people in New Providence, to get out of the city, come experience these islands and come experience what the real Bahamas is.
Yeah, you know, I mean, coming from coaching high school basketball, there were times when I came down here to the Catholic High Invitational or the Nationals. That was the first time some young people would have left Nassau to come to Grand Bahama. They know nothing of these islands. And so my whole idea when I became Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture is to ensure that we develop facilities throughout the land and breadth of the Bahamas so that these young persons, you know, can get on a plane and experience what our islands are about. You got adults who have not been to some of these islands. And so these are some of the ways we can get them at a young age to participate in these sporting disciplines and travel the islands.
We have young Megan over here who is one of our elite athletes and now working in your ministry, who is smiling from ear to ear. Make you feel pretty good. And so having the people in place to make sure that this facility is utilized and utilized its full potential is also going to be very important.
Oh, we know Megan is a former swimmer herself who is very articulate and keen when it comes to the swimming arena. And you know, when we were starting to build this, myself and Norris Bain, we spoke about having her to be one of the persons to oversee this facility along with others as we continue to train with the necessary skill sets and professionalism they need to ensure that this be the world-class facility. So Megan is here on time, and we're going to continue to use her expertise to ensure that this facility is welcome. We welcome the world to this facility to participate and utilize the facility and also bring some heads and beds in Grand Bahama.
Last year, you were talking a lot about the sports tourism concept and having the Deputy Prime Minister who's in charge of tourism here to hear what you had to say. It's now coming into place.
Yeah, you know, we are all one government here. So when you look at us, we have to work hand in hand to ensure that we, if we call it sports tourism, you know, while I be the Minister of Sports, he's the Minister of Tourism. In order to forget the people here, the facility must be built. And so while the facility comes under my ministry, we have to ensure that they see what we're doing and help us bring the people in.
And I tell you, that's going to be very, very important. And I told Megan, and on the north side, I want a gym. You stay there laughing.
I have discussed this. We have already got a demo of a dome to be built. Actually, it was supposed to be at the highest point here in the back of Jack Haywood Jr. I spoke to the Minister of Grand Bahama. We have identified that spot because the dome is built to be a hurricane shelter, and so we wanted to find the highest point on this land to put that, and that was identified as the highest point. So I think should we be successful in our next time, that is also something that is on. We already have on the drawing board. We have already get the cost for that, and so that is something that will be coming too. So we say in the Grand Bahamians, let's continue with progress. Progress is on the way, and there's no time for stopping it now.
Well, it's a good feeling in terms of seeing where we are at this point and looking at what will happen. This particular facility is going to be unique in more ways than one to help in terms of swimming. The only thing you have to do for me, though, you have to dive off the board.
I'll be the first one to kiss in it. As that'll be the first real diving pool that we can dive it professionally here in the Bahamas. And so, again, it's unique, and we wanted this to be unique, so there's something you must come to Grand Bahama for, different from what there's in New Providence.
Megan says we're going to try to put together a water polo team.
Oh, yes, that's important.
I ain't treading the water too long. Okay, so that's another story. Okay, but the reality is, it opens up a new playing field.
Yes.
As far as what could possibly happen here. I was in Florida for the holidays and watched the young people over there at the University of Miami in the water during the winter season. That kind of business comes here. And we could get that kind of business here as far as getting young people to want to come over to participate in sports here.
Well, that's one of the whole ideas, too. We looked at trying to attract NCAAs and colleges from Canada, Minnesota, New York, those cool countries during the winter months to come here to the Bahamas when it's, even though it might be a little chilly to us, but it's warm to them to come here and do their off-season training and to bring competitions here. If we can bring competitions here in basketball and other meets in NCAA, why not bring the swimming here? And so that's on the agenda.
Well, you know, we have a lot of Canadian visitors here for the winter months, and that cold snap we had when we was down into the 50s, they was on Coral Beach swimming. So that should tell you that this comes at an opportune time here in Grand Bahama, and for us, and to have all the different facilities here, sir, as the Minister of Sports, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go. The Honorable Mario Boleg, who in turn has his hands full, and Megan, you, as you heard him, I said it, but now you heard it from the minister.
I heard it.
Okay. Your input is going to be very, very important in this.
Yes, and I am looking forward. I've really appreciated all the support from my minister. I mean, every Carifta nationals that I go to, I see him sitting up in those stands, and he always is like, it's coming. He tells me it's coming, and now I see it and it's here, and I'm really excited to take the next step into making sure this facility is run properly and making sure that everybody is up to date and knowledgeable about what's going on about maintaining this pool, because this is groundbreaking for Grand Bahama.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been a wonderful afternoon as the official groundbreaking has been completed here at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. The Prime Minister stating pretty much so that things are going to be moving in the right direction and moving very, very quickly. Megan from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Megan Reed, she's going to be here. If you need to find her, she's by Bishop Michael Eldon Pool in the mornings. And in the afternoons, okay? And if you need her, she's in the ministry's office. And again, she will be one of those key persons to make sure that this facility moves in the right direction. Shane Stubbs with us earlier in our broadcast, who is also going to be on TV tonight and give you all the ins and outs as to what happened here today. But the whole idea of an aquatic center for Grand Bahama is quickly becoming a reality, as tomorrow it starts to work and it comes out of the ground. Thank you very much, my darling. It's been a pleasure being with you. Remember the name. Don't forget, Megan Reed. She'll be the person that you will get all the answers for when it comes to the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center. For all of us here, I'm Ricardo Lightbourne. Have a great afternoon.
A stage fit for our top-level swimmers, an arena for the fans to enjoy, and a breath of fresh air for our sporting facilities. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture presents live coverage of the groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Aquatic Center.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Grand Bahama, we've helped 486 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $14.4 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Grand Bahama's economy by investing in its leading sectors: food and beverage, tourism, and fishing. Every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC Bahamas.
Our mandate on the mission statement for the program is to develop community leaders and nation builders through the art of Jonkana. The future belongs to them, so being able to instill the culture in young people and at the same time make them productive citizens of the society is basically what our program offers. We teach them from scratch, so how to pace, how to beat a drum, how to ring a cowbell, how to blow a horn, to get that good understanding of what the culture is like. The program is more than just Jonkana itself, where we bring a group of teens to perform, but we also assist them with life lessons, finding scholarship opportunities for them to go abroad and further their education. In this day and time, it's very hard for kids coming up, and so we try to find means within the Jonkana arena, but at the same time use just Jonkana as the outlet to make them better at life. Crime-free? Looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
The Public Hospitals Authority wishes to ensure that you and your family are safe and prepared during the hurricane season. There are a few simple rules to follow that will help you to better manage your health during a storm. Ensure you have a 2-week supply of any medications you are taking. Ensure you have a first aid kit. Ensure you make contact with your healthcare provider to reschedule any appointments or procedures that may have been scheduled ahead of the storm. The public is reminded that